Hey everybody, we got the Rustang up in the first bay. It runs, it moves, so we can move it around from bay to bay now. So the next step in the Rustang is I could do the door skin on another door that I have, but I think before we do that, we need to take care of this rocker. This rocker, I went ahead and replaced the inner rocker with this really thick piece of metal because it was all gone when I was doing the floor pans 15 years ago. So as you see, the rocker is cut away because it was all rotted out at the bottom here. And you can see right here, this is all rotted out. So somebody had replaced this rocker one other time, and what they did is they actually sliced it right here down this line. Well, this all looks pretty good up in here still. I don't really want to touch that. I only need to go from like here down and then maybe put a patch panel up in here. So I have a new rocker. I have no idea where I bought it from. It's been bouncing around in my crawl space for 15 years. I thought I had bought the extension piece too, but I did not. But I guess I'll have enough metal left over to be able just to patch this. I'll just go ahead and cut out the bad and just lay some metal and bend it. So first thing I think we're gonna do is, like I said, I already took a screwdriver and started beating on this. And you can see it's nothing but rotted and covered with Bond over here. But down here is metal. So we are going to try, I'm gonna draw a line all the way down. And so I definitely need to go. So I definitely want to go above this right about here. And then I'll go ahead and match up to this line here and cut this on back and see if I can get this taken out. So I need to put a straight edge on this and cut this piece out, and we'll come back. G Junior is off on an adventure. He'll be back later. And see, I still need to spot weld this back together. So I'll fix that afterwards and we can go look. Oh, I did stick the other fender on the car just to see how it fits. It looks pretty good. It's not bolted on or anything, but we'll be able to get this fender actually lines up very, very nicely. This one here, I replaced the inner rocker also, but this rocker panel was in good shape. So I was able just to reuse it and re-tack weld it. And if you notice, it's a different color. The reason why it's a different color is because I painted it with Rust-Oleum. Looks like it's got a little bubble there. I'm not too worried about that. All right, so let me go ahead and get this cut so we can piece together a rocker panel, because I'm not going to try to put a whole rocker panel in, because I'll show you why. The A pillar comes down and sits on top of it here, and this is kind of rusty. I need to patch that, but the A pillar sits on top of this. I don't want to separate that. And same down here, the B pillar comes down and sits on top of it. It's just going to be too much work. If I was doing the quarters, maybe, but it's just too much work. So we're just going to slice it. Let me get set up and we'll be back. Alrighty, well, in the time warp, my cord must be going bad in this ancient Harbor Freight Chicago grinder, and I put one of those green super discs. You know, they're all over Instagram and on the internet. I bought like 3 or 4 of them, and actually it seemed to do a pretty good job. So here's part of the old rocker, and you can see in here when I was rebuilding the floor, I went ahead and just cut this and put this new piece in here, and of course I didn't protect it, so it needs to be protected, but it's welded up really good inside. So this piece here I'm just going to patch, so that's why I cut it back here. I think maybe I'll take this piece and cut this off too. And now we'll still need to come back here, and I still need to finish cutting this. So I'm gonna let me finish cutting this piece and see how far I need to go, because it's actually still connected down here, and I really should do something about connecting this piece to this piece. So we'll have to look into that also. So I guess that's it for, it's almost quitting time, and I'm getting kind of hungry, so we will take and pick up on this. We're going to get in here and sand this all down, and I didn't really go straight here. I'm going to have to cut this a little bit, but if you look up in here, you should be able to see where they spliced it. Yeah, right up here in this corner here, they spliced it in. So they did the same thing I'm doing. I'm just doing a lower cut on it. So yeah, this piece is nice and strong. I think I still have a piece of this that maybe I can run from here on back. But let me get this cut. We'll come back when I'm still playing with it. We'll show you what we're gonna do. Now I'm gonna cut this piece to fit back up in there, and we'll flange this. I'm not gonna try to butt weld. I think I'm gonna flange it, and we'll put it back together. So got a lot of more to get prepped, and we'll come back when we're done prepping this. Last time warp, you see me come back up with the grinder, and I started taking off the paint. You can see there's Bondo right there. I started cleaning this inside piece of metal up, and now this piece is really thin. Look at that. Wonk, 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 wonk. So I got in here, and this quarter panel's been replaced. So there was a spot weld here and a spot weld there. So I got in there, I cut those with the little mini saw, and we're just gonna go ahead and cut this back until we find good metal. And this whole area was just packed with Bondo. And then down here where the original quarter panel came down, it was still spot welded here and here. I ground that down. This piece of metal that I put in was too short to run the whole length, so I decided to go ahead and run it all the way up front, because this is where I needed it, all the way back to the back of the torque box. As you can see, I'm in the back of the torque box right here. So that is all good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find another piece of steel, and I'll beat this in, and I'll lay it over top of this and over top of this, and I'll weld these two pieces together. And we'll just keep getting it. I'm trying to get this spot. There's another spot weld in here that I have to get cut free. But we're slowly getting it. We're making a hell of a mess. And then we'll slice this one up here like this, all the way down, and probably go till we get up this and come up higher, so this flange will fit up there, and I should be able to get a spot weld hopefully in through here, but I'm not sure. You know, if we have to screw it and glue it or whatever, it doesn't matter. We'll get it in there. And I don't care if I lose this seam with Bondo. It really doesn't matter to me. But it's going to definitely look better with a rocker than this piece here that's all messed up. All right, well, I think we're going to quit for the day, and we'll come back. And like I said, this piece here, I think I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to cut it over to here. It doesn't have to look like this. This is under the fender, just to tie this piece into this piece. We'll just get another piece of metal and hook that up. So tomorrow is yet another day, so we will get back on this tomorrow or the next day, whenever we can. Hey everybody, here we are again. It's been probably a month. You know, got busy at work, so haven't had a chance to work on this anymore. So as you saw in the previous videos, we got this all cut, blah 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 blah. I still need to weld a piece of metal in here, but I would like to go ahead and get this piece cut so we can get it up there and screw it on and see how it looks like and get it trimmed and everything. So what I've done is we're going to go ahead and cut this right down this Sharpie line to here. We're going to come down 1 inch and go all the way down, and then we'll shove this piece either over or under this. Haven't made up my mind if I'm going to go over, if I'm going to flange this or flange this. I haven't made up my mind yet, but we are 1 inch, so that's easily 1.5 inches. So I have 1.5 inches, so that means a 1/2 inch overlap, which should be good to start with. So G Junior's here, so I'm going to get him to go ahead and to cut this piece and then cut this all the way down, so we can put this up in there, and we'll take and use some self tappers to hold it in place, see what it looks like, and try not to get metal splinters in our hands. So I'm gonna have him cut this off camera and we'll come back. Alrighty, so we went ahead and cut the top of the rocker off, and we have it jammed up in there now. We've cut and trimmed and cut and trimmed, and we've got these pair of channel locks here holding it. We're a little bit low here. That's touching there, but it's not touching there. I think we're gonna come in and maybe cut this a little bit to be able to bend that up a little bit more. And then in the center, we're a little bit low, but not really that low. And then we had to cut a mark here to get it up, but we're perfect here. Actually, I think it looks actually really, really good. I think we're gonna go ahead and shoot some sheet metal screws in it. And you know, if we just have to fill this up with Bondo, I really don't care. You know what I mean? But we're gonna splice this together. I'm not sure if we're gonna do it like Half-Ass Customs does, where he takes and he cuts it and then pulls it out and welds it. I have a flanger that I could take and put a flange on this to make it fit better. Actually, I think that's what we're gonna do next, is we need to take a Sharpie, we need to mark it, and then we need to flange the bottom so it's in, okay? But it's looking, hey, look, it's looking like it's got a rocker now. All right. Alrighty, so what I've done is I've taken and marked the rocker in here with a scribe, and now I cut that edge off. You need like a 1/2 inch, where's my finger? 1/2 inch overhang. So what the flanger does is the flanger takes and flanges the metal wonk, wonk, wonk like this. So this piece here will fit even with this piece here. So I went ahead and I cut this one down to here. I still have to follow this line on down. So I have my 1/2 inch all the way down to here, so I can flange it. So here. So this is the flanging tool. So all I'm doing is you're coming in here and you chunk it and you move it real slow. You really can't see it, but it has put an edge right here that's lower than this. So I'm going to go all the way down here, so when this fits underneath, this piece will fit flush with this piece. So it's pretty boring. I'm going to go ahead and finish cutting this all the way down and then flanging it. Well, we got it cut and we got it flanged, and now we're having to put screws here to pull this down. You can see right here it's still off a little bit because that needs to get pushed in, but it's pretty close to be able to get this cleaned. And I'm also going to have to poke holes in this for plug welding. You know, this car is going to be nowhere perfect, but it's at least going to have a rocker on it. So we're working on that right now. We're going to probably pull this back off before I get this all set, clean this off for welding, and then pop some holes in here for plug welding. Alrighty, I think I have this thing almost completely fitted. I took the pair of vice grips off because we're probably going to pull the car out. I have it fitted pretty good. We're gonna have to pull this end out to meet this better because there's a little bit of a gap. And then down here, I still need to cut this back a little bit. I put the new piece up in here. That needs to be welded. So basically we're almost ready to weld. And then I didn't buy this piece, I'm just gonna patch it. So I went ahead and I made the new piece here and screwed it in. This is the clip that holds the fender on. So I went ahead and made that. And I'll probably weld this in and take the screws out, or, you know, leave the screws in. Who's gonna know? Nobody's gonna know. You put the fender on and the fender's gonna hide it. I also, the flanger, the other end of the flanger pokes holes for plug welding. So I have taken and put the holes in to be able to plug weld this. So pretty much now, this is almost ready to be welded. So I need to pull it off one more time, cut this piece, get inside here and weld that piece so the inner rocker meets the back part of the inner rocker, that it was too short. And we need to get the fender. We need to bring the fender in so we can pre-try this, the fender on the car, to make sure that this is going to be enough adjustment to get the fender right. So I don't think I'm going to come back and show the welding, because the welding's pretty boring and it's going to take a lot of time, and this video has gotten way long enough. So I think I'm going to leave it here. I want to thank everybody for watching. Please subscribe. You can always do that in that corner there. Please give me a thumbs up if you like the Rustang videos. And also too, we also have new hinges to put in here. This hinge is broken. It's we're gonna put new hinges in here. I have another door and a brand new door stick in to put on that door. This door is completely rotted out inside. We're gonna be doing that pretty soon. Alrighty, see y'all later.